Hello, hello. Welcome to the right side. I'm Renee Wright. Today we're going to be talking about marriage or sort of after dating, pre-marriage, when you're committed and you're working toward marriage. You've decided that you're going to go forward and maybe you're months away from an engagement, or you just are really going to grow this thing together. And I just want to suggest some things that you should consider to be mindful of when you're connecting, because as you go through these different stages, as you go into the marriage stage, it is different. Your expectations become different, your behaviors become different. So I start off right off the bat saying, go ahead and say what your expectations are. I have a couple that I'm working with now who are getting married now. And for the first time, he said, let me lead. Why don't you let me lead you? Why don't you, let me take control of some things? And her response was, well, I'm telling you how to lead me. And that just was interesting. It was funny to me, but it was interesting because obviously they had not discussed the dynamics in their relationship. And whatever the dynamics are going to be, it's okay as long as it fit for you. Some people believe in a 50-50. So if he's has the mindset that the relationship is going to be, led by me, supported by you, we're going to work together for the good of the relationship, that's a discussion that needs to happen. But if you want to invest in or you want to compromise in a 50-50 where decisions have to be agreed on by both sides, and whatever your relationship style is going to be, that's a discussion to be had, because that's it's going to cause frustration in a relationship if you're moving forward and he wants to take a more head of the family type role and you want to take a more 50-50 type role. Then this may not be the person. This should have been talked about before, discussed before. And it's not that you can't shift or compromise in the middle somewhere, but it's worthy of a discussion. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention to you was, now you're going to start meeting family and friends, or you may not. Maybe that's not something that either of you wants to bring your family into. But once you're getting into this engagement stage, you should either have the discussion about what's going to happen with family. Because if one of you is a big family oriented person and the other person not so much, you're going to really, really want them to come, and they're not going to be feeling that. I remember my family was close. Everybody's growing. It's a little different now, but at the time we were close. And on Thanksgiving, we all came together. But my husband, not so much into Thanksgiving, not so much into big family, not so much into it. So unfortunately, he had to work every Thanksgiving holiday. So when he came home, he went upstairs and went to bed. And all the family was downstairs, and we were eating and talking and playing games. He's in the bed. This wasn't something that we discussed before, because in my mind, it makes sense that if family's over, everybody's going to participate in what the family's doing. That made sense to me. But what makes sense to me doesn't make dollars for him. No, I'm just kidding. But what makes sense is, it's not about common sense. It's not about being obvious. It's all about discussion. Darling, my family's coming over. I would like for you to come downstairs and sit with us for a while. Maybe his thought is, honey, I've been working all day. I'm pretty tired. Let me get a shower, get a little relaxed, and I'll come down later. There is a middle ground, but you have to have the discussion. Because I can tell you, several years ago when that happened, there was not a discussion. There just was a lot of screaming. So you have that discussion. What are the expectations with family? One person said, I want you to meet my mother. And they said, why? The other person said, why? Because I love my mother. Well, I love my mother too, but I don't need you to meet her. All of these are discussions. Nothing is good. Nothing is bad. It's just having a meeting of the minds. Okay, so that is, as the relationship is growing to this area right now, these are certainly discussions that you should have. And again, with meeting family and friends, I wanted to say, when you meet family and friends, sometimes there's a habit, or sometimes the family or friends may decide to bring up your partner's not so proud moments, or just say things negative about them in the sense of a joke. Now you're just meeting these people, and I encourage you not to engage in, not be a part of those jokes, because it just hits different when it's coming from somebody who you're in love with. So let's say he had these things he's not very proud of, and he wants to outlived that, and he does not want that to be a part of his legacy anymore. And granted, maybe he shouldn't bring you around those friends, but he did. Don't engage. Don't try to compare stories. Don't try to jump in there and just to earn favor with friends and family, to tell your kind of funny stories. Just take a little humor. Be, if anything, be defensive of him. Defend him, like, oh well, he's not that anymore, and then leave the conversation, because your main focus is your relationship with your partner. These friends may be great friends to him, or not so great friends. Don't engage in that. Just try to just be as supportive of your mate as you can. Don't, if you want to bring those stories up to them later that they bring up, do that, but don't engage in them. These are just my suggestions. Also, your friends, now you may be talking about your partner a lot. Watch what you say. You don't want to paint, when you're angry with your partner, you don't want to paint an angry light, because this is a person who you're still growing with. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get angry and mad about things from time to time, but you're growing with this person. So you don't want to, when you are angry, you don't want to tell your friends and your family too much of the negative stuff that's going on. I mean, you can find a way to be supportive without turning your friends and family against them. So you have to be mindful of the things you say. And if you're finding yourself being so angry so often, frustrated, not angry, just frustrated with some things, because this is difficult, you're bringing two whole lives together. So there's going to be some frustration involved. Get yourself a coach. Get yourself a coach to help you through those frustrating points, and then share some with your friends. Because once your friends and family don't like your mate, your partner, it's hard to get them to like him, because they're going to remember all that stuff and all of the things that he did to get you to forgive him. He's not doing that for your friends and family. So you be very careful and be very mindful of the things that you tell them. Get yourself a coach. It's well worth it. It will save your relationship and your friendships and your family relationships. Okay, so again, watch what you say. Don't join in when his friends and family are starting to like rib him with some really light joking and things like that. Don't join in that. Just be supportive as you can through that. I mean, laugh a little bit, not overly. Don't roll on the floor, grabbing your stomach. So anyway, and then again, as you're growing together, things are going to be uncomfortable. You're going to learn some things about each other that did not come up when you were in the the early stages and the dating stages. So these are different things, and some of these things may anger you. So before you react to that, I strongly suggest that before it turns to anger, that you try to find the source of the anger, because anger is not an emotion that happens by itself. Anger is something that comes out for fear. He didn't call me last night and I didn't know where he was, and now I'm mad. So what that is, that was fear. I was worried about him. I was worried something could have happened to him. That's fear. So now it's coming out as anger. So if you're mad because you didn't get a call because you thought something happened, you still can have your frustrations, but deliver it to them in the way that is met. I was very afraid, and that bothers me. So you learn how to identify the emotion that is coming from. Anger comes from sometimes shame or hurt. Maybe they did something that hurt your feelings, and now you are furious. Maybe they told something to somebody and he told something to somebody in his family, and you didn't want it to be, and it hurt your feelings that he kept it a secret or whatever, and now you're really hurt, but that hurt's coming out as anger. So when then anger comes up from the hurt, then you say, darling, it's not going to always come out so sugary, but you just express it like that. That hurt my feelings, and that's got me in my feelings, and I'm going to deal with this, but I need you to know that hurt my feelings, and it's making me angry. But if you know that it's coming from hurt or shame or guilt or all these different things, then you can communicate them better. So before, that's how you learn to grow, and that works across every relationship you have, friends, family, co-worker. It works across every relationship. So identify the source of your anger before you spew it, because you can't, some things you'll say and you won't be able to bring back. All right. So I hope some of that was helpful to you. If you're still here, please like, subscribe, share. This is the 4th video. So if you're just tuning in now, there was 3 more. Obviously, if this is the 4th, those talked about courtship. The first, when you're first meeting someone, when you start dating someone, just whether you decide to stay or leave. And now we're in the early stage. We're in commitment. We are committed. We have decided this is going to be just me and you. Boo, boo, boo. It's me and you. And now we're going to really let the hard work begin. Meeting your family, meeting your mom. What if your mom doesn't like me? What if your mom? All of these things that could come in, but you have to be ready to have the conversation. So again, I hope it was helpful. I do these every Thursday. We had a little storm, so it slowed me down a little bit, but I'm back on track. I'll be back next Thursday. We're going to again talk about marriage. There's going to be 10 videos in this series. And the 10th one is going to be a question and answer. If you are already married, I suggest you go back to watch the dating courtship part, because maybe there's some advice. Maybe there's something that I got wrong or something that I got very right. And you can go and you can put your information in there. And if you're dating, look at maintenance. It's worth it to watch all 10 series, because at some point you'll be at all of these stages. And if you're already past it, maybe you're in maintenance, maybe it's time to start all over again. Maybe it's time to start courting again and dating and getting through all the fun stuff again. So again, I'm Renee Wright. This is The Right Side. I hope you enjoyed these videos, this video, and enjoy all the other videos. You have a wonderful day, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.